how to emotionally recover when your ex moves on too fast. In this video, I'm going to tell you why he moved on so quickly and how you can get over it. It's Sabrina, your personal love advisor from A New Mode, the channel where we show you how love actually works. So your boyfriend has a new girlfriend. Oof. Oof. I mean, that hurts. That hurts so much. Breakups in general are painful, but when he moves on so quickly, that's just an added level of pain. I remember when I went through this, I just spent so much time comparing myself to the girl and just feeling not good enough. I mean, she's enough for him and I wasn't enough for him. What does she have that I don't have? So in addition to missing your ex and feeling heartbroken, you also have these feelings of inferiority when it comes to this other woman and wondering what she has. How is she better than me? Is she prettier? Is she smarter? Is she funnier? What is it? What does she have that I don't have? And how can I get what it is that she has so that I get him back? I mean, talk about bulldozing over your self-esteem. It's just a killer. It took me, I think, many years to build my self-esteem back up after that experience. So believe me, I know the enormous amount of pain you're in. I know how hard this is, but I also know that you'll get through it. And I'm gonna tell you how to do it. So watch this video all the way until the end. Real quick, if you enjoyed this video and find it helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more relationship advice. If you have any questions, any feedback, leave it in the comment section. I read them all. I try to respond to everyone. And definitely share this video with any of your friends who might be going through a breakup right now, or even worse, a breakup where the guy has moved on way too quickly. Okay, let's get into it. First, let's talk about why he moved on so quickly. The simplest reason here is he found someone who was a better match for him. It's not because she was so much better than you on every level. It's probably because she was different from you and different in ways that he needed. She gave him something that he needed. And it doesn't mean that you're lacking. It just means that not everyone's a match. I'm sure you've dated guys who were great on paper, checked all the boxes, but you just weren't into it for whatever reason, because not everyone's a match. He just found someone who was more suited for him. He probably didn't even expect to find her. It probably just took him by surprise. He was probably just as surprised as you were. Well, maybe not as surprised as you were. I think that your surprise was at a different level, but usually he wasn't expecting it. This woman just came into his life and it just clicked and it progressed. And I know that it's really hard, but it's not a personal attack on you, even though I know that that's how it feels. Another thing to realize is that most guys in general, are really good at compartmentalizing. So the fact that it seems like he just forgot about you, he replaced you, he just moved on with someone new, it seems like he just never cared about you to begin with, because if he did, how could he do this? Probably did care, but he realized, okay, it wasn't gonna work out with her. I'm a much better match with this other girl. So he just puts that in a box and shoves it to the side. He's not like dwelling on all the pain and all the hurt. So it looks like he's callous. It looks like he's unfeeling. It looks like he just never cared about you in the first place, but that most likely isn't true, unless he's a complete and total sociopath, in which case you should just be happy that he's not your problem anymore. It's somebody else's problem. Now let's talk about how you can recover. Number one, realize that he is not the one for you. Part of the pain that you're feeling right now is the pain that you lost your soulmate. That's really, really painful. But he wasn't your soulmate, because if he was, he wouldn't have left you for somebody else. And if he is your soulmate, he'll find his way back to you eventually. But that's not what we're gonna focus on here. You didn't lose the love of your life here. You didn't lose the other half of your soul. You didn't lose the perfect man for you, because he's not the perfect man for you. You don't see it right now because you're blinded by the immense pain that you're in. And I understand, believe me, I fully understand where you're at. And I want you to believe me when I tell you that he's not the guy for you. Maybe you don't realize it right now, but eventually you will. And when you do, send me a message and be like, Sabrina, you were right. You were right all along. You can't panic in the middle of the sentence. You don't know where the story's going. Number two, it's not because you weren't enough. You can't compare yourself to this other girl. You don't even know anything about her. Don't do what I did, where I just like stalked her social media endlessly, because social media is the highlight reel of our lives. Of course, she looked perfect in every picture. And of course, everything was just like perfect and great, because it's the highlight reel. It's not really her. So of course, me with all my realness and my flaws, comparing myself to an illusion, of course, I always felt inferior. I always felt like I fell short. And of course, their relationship looked perfect on social media, because that's what you put on social media. Nobody takes a picture of themselves mid-argument and says, all right, real life couple life or whatever. No one does that. No one posts photos of themselves depressed and crying in the corner. So I was comparing myself to an illusion, but it feels like you're comparing yourself to something real because there's like a real cognitive dissonance with social media. Like on the one hand, we know that it's fake, but on the other hand, we look at it and interpret it as if it's real, and it's not. So you need to listen to me because I am telling you what's real right now. It's not because you weren't enough. It's not because you weren't good enough, you weren't pretty enough, you weren't smart enough, you weren't funny enough, you weren't anything enough. You just weren't right, and that's it. And that's okay. Not everyone's a match, and that's okay. If it was that easy, I wouldn't have a job. Whatever qualities that you have that didn't work for this guy are probably gonna be the qualities that the right guy for you loves above anything else. I mean, personally speaking, I have a very strong personality. I'm a very type A personality. A lot of guys didn't like that. A lot of guys were intimidated by that. A lot of guys felt emasculated by that. But my husband really likes that and really appreciates that because he's not that way. So he really likes that I balance him in that way. Number 3, consider how this will make you better. The darkest times lead to the brightest light. And you really can use this pain as fuel for your growth. Just think about any painful experience you've been through in your life. It's probably made you so much stronger. It's probably taught you so much about yourself. You probably learned so much from it and grew so much from it. Personally speaking, I created a career out of my pain. The reason that I'm good at what I do, or the reason that I'm able to do this, is because I've been through all of it. Being cheated on, toxic relationships, codependent relationships, being ghosted, being dumped, being rejected. I have been through all of it. And the funny thing is, I dated my husband in high school and then we, went our separate ways for like a decade and then got back together. I needed that decade to go through all of this crap that I've been through in life because that's what gave me the insights, gave me the knowledge, gave me the experiences to be able to have this job, to do this. I've been doing this for 10 years. And I'm so grateful for that, even though at the time, obviously, I didn't see that all those painful experiences were gonna be serving me in such an important way. I'm not necessarily saying you need to create a career writing about relationships, although, that's one avenue that you can take, but this pain will serve you well if you allow it to. If you let this pain ruin you, if you let it annihilate your self-esteem, annihilate your sense of self, if you let it take you down a dark, self-destructive path, it won't do anything for you. This will just be a terrible thing that happened to you. If you use it to learn about yourself, to get better at relationships, to learn more about who you are and what it is you need, to use it to just become a better person in general, a more empathetic person, a more compassionate person, then this pain will serve you well. So try to focus on that. Try to focus on how you can use this to be even better, to really develop yourself in meaningful ways. And above all, when you focus on loving yourself, then you win. You win at life. That's the way to win here. So put your energy on that and not on focusing on why you're not enough and this other chick is just so much better than you. Like I said, it's not true. It's not. Number 4, visualize your next relationship. Now, this might sound silly, but stick with me here. So I give this advice to my friends who are going through breakups all the time, because when you're going through it, when you're in the thick of it, all you're thinking about is this guy and how perfect he was, how amazing he was. But the reason you broke up is because it was broken. This relationship wasn't good. It wasn't meeting all your needs. And be honest, maybe right now you're idolizing all the good times, but it wasn't meeting all your needs. It wasn't the right relationship for you, because if it was, then it wouldn't have ended. So what we're gonna do now is focus on thinking about our next relationship, or your next relationship. Think about what it'll be like to be with a guy who truly values you, who treats you right, who really appreciates you, who sees the good in you, who loves you and adores you. And think about how exciting starting a new relationship is. I was just talking about this with someone earlier today, but we cheat ourselves out of the magic of the beginning of a relationship by getting so anxious and worrying about where things are going. But the beginning is such a fun and exciting time. And really try to think about that. Think about how exciting it'll be to start new and to start fresh. Don't think of it in terms of, I have to start all over again. Think about it in terms of, I get to start all over again. I get to start new and fresh, and I get to be in this relationship as an even better version of myself than I was in my last relationship, because hopefully you used this time to grow and to heal from it. So really try to picture it. Don't just think about it for a second. Close your eyes and really let that vibrate within you. Think about what it will look like, what it will feel like, how amazing it will be. And focus on that, because that will take your head out of this space where you just think that your ex is the only man in the entire world for you. And it will remind you that there is more out there and there is life after him. I promise you there is. All right, I hope you found this helpful. Again, I'm so sorry if this is what you're going through. I know how brutal it is, but I also know that when you get through this, and you will, you are gonna be so much stronger, and you will have that feeling of, if I got through that, I can literally get through anything, because it's true. I mean, literally, breakups are the hardest pain to deal with. And I have given birth twice, and I will take that pain over the pain of heartbreak any day of the week. It is brutal, so I feel you, I'm with you. You'll be okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give it a like, leave a comment, letting me know what you think. If you have any questions, make sure to follow me on Instagram at A New Mode. I give daily relationship wisdom. I do lots of Q&As, so that's a fun way to connect. And also make sure to join our A New Mode newsletter. It's at anewmode.com/subscribe. We'll put the link down below. The newsletter is by me and my co-founder of A New Mode, Eric. For those of you who don't know him, Eric also writes tons of content on A New Mode. He writes for the newsletter. It's just a great way to get male, female perspective. We share a lot of personal stories, a lot of dating tips. You get emails from us every day in your inbox. So it's a great way to connect and to learn more. So check that out as well. And I will see you guys in the next video.